All right, here we are with what was my final MOBI assignment, but not the actual final itself. And this one, back or not back, more conceptual stuff rather. And this one, testing, which I guess it's kind of weird to say it's conceptual, but it's not like working with, for example, Intense, where that's an Android thing. This is more of a general thing that we're just doing, or we just did in Android. So we took the DB ball and we had to make tests for it, and that's what I did. I'll show it in a second, but the actual code is the same. And if I just run the app just to show you, it'll be the same. And these are just the tests. There's two test files. This is one of them that I ran before this video just to make sure it was still all working. But yeah, I can see it's just the same as before. Oh, the balls don't show up because they're with the test. That's why part of it was also to do that as well. Was to if I go into the code, part of it was to I believe it specifically said to not draw the balls but log them, and that's you can see here the draws commented it out, and we have a log here. Well, I'll show the test. That was just a small part of it. It was most of the tests. So I kind of did a three for each on the DB class, and then I just did two since the tech collision was a bit more. And I believe I mentioned in another previous video that I would change this if, because on the ball, yeah, originally the ball it was just this move with collision detection method, which had detect collision and move all in one method. But to make it easier to test, I split them up into two, and then just made one method that just runs both of them. So that was another change that I made, and I just, like I said, I did three of each, but I did two of this since it's a you have to do the math properly to actually get the test to work to know what the output's going to be. But I'll show that running a ball test, and there's a lot more in the DB class test. This will take a minute here. And see, it's just move, and then once it moves, obviously you expect the ball to have moved. That's why I'm doing assert. Same for the second move, same for the third, do it a little bit different there. And then detect collision, it's a little bit more work. And then here you see all the tests have passed. And in a real world scenario, you would have way more tests than this, but obviously for an assignment which had less than a week to do, that's going to be too much to do a billion, decabillion, especially when we're doing other things. Next, I'll show the DB class test. Here's just a setup. You can see it before and also on the other one as well. I did by name ascending so I know what order these are going to run in. So find all, only need to do that once, count, save, and then I do the find name by ID three times. Find by name three times, X, Y, etc. There's a lot. So you count it up, there's 24 by the looks. And then tear down is after, which basically just wipes the DB, so it's not using the same one. But yeah, there's not too much to talk about. Testing is just really important in general, especially when you're working with something like much bigger than this. So that you're not running it on the live. Obviously when people think testing, typically just from an outsider's perspective, you probably think just running the program, seeing if it works, and that is part of it. But this is it's good to have this as well, just so you can repeatedly like hammer away at your methods, throw a bunch of data at them extremely easily instead of running. Maybe this it's easy, it builds really quickly, but even if you had a bigger Android app, it would probably build pretty slow on here. And then every time you make a change, you'd have to rebuild it. Every time you want to add a new test, you have to rebuild it. So having a separate test class is just really good so that you can, hammer away at it quickly. But yeah, that's about it for this one, and next will be a 2-in-1 video of both final projects.